Hello everybody, welcome to the SHNEWS. Just a quick reminder that this video is a bussin' banger, no cap on God, and it has been stamped certified by the streets. We've got a whole bunch of interesting sneaker stories to catch up on today. We're only just coming to the end of the first quarter of 2025, and we've already been previewed with what's coming out in spring 2026. This includes some pretty crazy releases, including the reverse infrared Air Jordan 6s, as well as the return of the bin series. Apparently the Jordan 1 Obsidians have been recalled due to QC issues, and this explains the postponement. But in today's episode, I'm going to be unboxing my pair of Obsidians to check the QC. And we're also going to have a look ahead to tomorrow's Air Max Day. So let's get into it. I want to start off with a story that is a little bit controversial. Basically, some newly unsealed court documents have revealed allegations of sexual misconduct, including several Nike execs, some of whom are still in senior roles at Nike, contradicting earlier company statements. So these records emerged following a 3-year legal battle between Nike and multiple media outlets, and they detail a range of allegations from consensual relationships with subordinates to unwanted sexual remarks and unspecified harassment. Among the executives' names are people like Charlie Denson, a former Nike president, Don Blair, people that you probably wouldn't recognize unless you were pretty close to the brand or familiar with some of the high-ups at Nike. But one of the people that you will no doubt definitely recognize is Tinker Hatfield, man. No. The allegations include claims that Hatfield instructed a personal trainer at Nike's campus gym to quote-unquote dress sexier and quote-unquote show some skin, leaving her feeling intimidated and degraded. Hatfield has denied the claims, with his lawyer dismissing them as gossip written on a bathroom stall. So no further developments at this point. Right, we're only at the end of March, and already it's felt like it's been a crazy stacked release calendar full of high heat releases. But we've already been given an Air Jordan retro preview for spring 2026. And there are a couple of absolute bangers mentioned in among those set to release. So let's just get into it, starting off with probably the biggest banger out of the whole bunch of them, depending on whether or not you're into this model or you recognize the history of this sneaker. We're talking about the Jordan 6 reverse infrared. Now, you guys might remember this sneaker being a sample back in the year 2000. It was a salesman sample, very hard to get your hands on. It's been the subject of customization from numerous people over the years. Incredibly rare sneaker, highly coveted. And the only difference between this and the normal black infrared Air Jordan 6 is basically just that the Nike Air on the back has the red infrared branding, making it pop a little bit more on the back tab. So this shoe has essentially taken the place of the black infrared that was rumored to be coming out next year, and very exciting potential release. And then we have the return of another incredible series, and it's going to be cool to see what they do with this. The bin series. Do you guys remember the bins? Those of you guys that are pretty observant will no doubt recognize that I've got some of the bins in the background. The bin 5s, the bin 7s, real ones, people that have been tapped into the game for some time will know that these are the grails before the grails came along. Like, the quality on these Jordans is, I mean, even to this day, pretty much unmatched. When was the last time you got a pair of Jordans that came with wooden shoe trees, dust bags, unbelievable quality and craftsmanship? So I'm not sure if they're going to basically bring back any retros of the existing bins that we have out there, like the 2s or the 5s or the 7s or the 9s or the 13s, or if they're just going to be running with the bin theme and then applying it to some fresh models like the Air Jordan 6 that we have here. Also got a Jordan 3 Springers in the Air colorway. This features some pretty nice pastel colors on them. And then, well, this is an interesting one, the Jordan 4 Flight Club. And this is a reference to the special paper inserts and catalogs that were in circulation in the 1980s and in the early 1990s. We've just got these mock-ups to go off. They have a little bit of that fire red vibe about them. Very clean, very good looking shoe. And it's not the only Jordan 4 we're set to be getting next year either. You also have this women's Air Jordan 4 as well in a pale ivory and Sierra red colorway. Nice looking color blocking. And then Jordan 6 lows in a blackout or a black cat type colorway. Jordan 6 lows, I don't know how you guys feel about Jordan 6 lows. I don't feel like they transfer that well across to the low top personally, but still clean model, clean colorway, and arguably the retro of the bunch, notwithstanding the bins, of course, and the infrareds, has got to be these, the Jordan 5 Wolf Grays. The first time we'll have seen this sneaker since 2011. In a lot of people's estimation, the best non-OG Jordan 5 colorway of all time. Definitely going to be on a lot of people's radars. And then the Jordan 13 True Red, aka the Cherries, are also set to come out in the spring of next year as well. So that's pretty stacked, man. I've got to say, I'm pretty excited about the reverse infrareds. That, for me, is an absolute no-brainer must cop. The bin 6s as well. It'll be interesting to see how they bring the bin type level of materials back. Will they come with a even higher elevated price points? Because the bins, back when they came out, weren't crazy expensive. There are some signups available for the Cortez Air Max 95s, which are set to drop early in April. I think if you go over to, is it honeybricks.com or something like that, you can put in the password that you can see on the screen now to be alerted as to when these are going to be dropping. I've heard rumors that there are going to be something like 50k pairs of these. It's very simple, very nice colorway. Obviously, the Cortez Air Max 95 is one of the most successful 95 collaborations in recent times, so there will definitely be some massive demand for these. 190 is the retail price on these, and according to all these product images, these are looking very clean. So if you want to be notified, be sure to go and sign up on that website I just showed you. Otherwise, yeah, keep an eye on Cortez's website as well as their socials for any type of release updates. Right, we've got some on foot of the Air Jordan 5 Fire Reds, the black tongues, and man, we've been through a bit of a journey with these. When we first got the images, people were dogging on these because the text on the back wasn't really looking true to the OG. The shape was looking a little bit squiffy, but that was all probably down to the quality of the images that we had been given at the time, as opposed to the sneakers themselves. Now that we've got these crystal clear images, these nice in-hands, as well as these nice on-foots, we can get a proper vibe for them, and they are looking banging. Remember, this is the first time we'll have had this sneaker in this form since 1990, with the Nike Air on the back, with the correct Bulls 23 text on the rear heel, the black tongue, of course. They've sort of sorted out the shape a little bit. They don't look too boxy, even though the Jordan 5 is a pretty bricky, oblique, boxy shoe in its own right. So these are set to release in and around the fall autumn season. September the 13th is what I'm seeing here, $210. And these, alongside the black metallics we've already had and the grapes, constitute a crazy year for OG Jordan 5 releases. According to this post here, Nike delayed the release of the Air Jordan 1 Low Obsidian due to QC issues, pointing to a severely misshapen toe box as the reason. So Nike have reached out to the retailers that were given product allocation to check over their inventory, and if they have shoes that have this wonky toe box you can see circled here, they've been told to recall pairs. Now I have a pair of the Obsidians in hand, and I am now going to unbox them for you so we can see together whether or not the QC is on point and whether or not I have got a wonky toe box. So let's go for it. Right, now I will be bringing you guys my full review on these tomorrow. There is the box. Pretty cool box. Right, here we go. Ooh, okay. Ooh, has to be done. Right. What do you think? What are you thinking? My initial reaction is that the toe box is fine. Or is it? Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, left shoe is fine. Just give you a chance to have a good look at that. Other shoe, right shoe. There's a little bit of guff on there, but no, it seems fine. Okay, according to the image, it looks like there's a little bit of a slump or a little bit of an indentation in the way it's sort of stitched there. You guys can probably see it there if I match it up. So yeah, my initial reaction to these is, yeah, Toe box looks absolutely fine. So good news for me. How is your toe box? If you already have a pair, feel free to sound off down below. And yeah, these are clean, man. I'm going to bring you guys my full in-depth review on these tomorrow. Right, there's another big head mode Air Max 1 in the pipelines, and this one here is taking inspiration from arguably the best video game of all time. GoldenEye, Nintendo 64, 4-player, split screen, proximity mines, all night long. What a game. Such good memories of this game, and this colorway is super clean and probably the best pause music of all time. Absolutely banging instrumental. So if you don't know, the whole big head moniker, or the big head mode moniker, is specifically a nod to the unlockable cheat in the game in which all the characters are transformed with giant oversized heads. This particular colorway is going to be releasing sometime in the summer, 160 bucks. Apparently, it's only currently available on Fortnite as a cosmetic. Another SB collaboration that is coming up, we have a release date for, is the Limosine skateboards. These are set to drop on June the 19th. Previously, we'd seen this mock-up which have these looking pretty much like a basketball, it has to be said, and I was doubting as to whether or not this mock-up was going to resemble anything, you know, like what the shoe will end up looking like. But according to this absolute partial, this unclear partial sneaker that looks like it would give XC Sneaker an absolute run for his money, this looks to be the case, man. This looks a little bit like a basketball or a little bit of a mandarin or something like that. You can see the Limosine branding on the side there. You can see the heel cup. You can definitely discern which part of the shoe it is, albeit barely. We've had a really good look, our best look yet, at the Jordan 4 undefeateds. Just a reminder, these are set to drop on June the 21st, 225 USD. And this is, for a lot of people, the most anticipated sneaker of the year, because for the longest time, this has been one of those grail of grail type Air Jordans. I mean, it's, I think, the first collaboration that Jordan Brand ever did with anybody back in 2005. The colorway is absolutely iconic. They've got the rare air patch on the tongue. Bro, these images have them looking pretty dope. This first one here, you can see that that olive green sort of has a bit of a washed out look to it. We've got some XC Sneaker images featuring the Nike Air on the back. I still don't know whether or not the Nike Air is going to be the more generally released pair, and then the Jumpman's maybe an undefeated exclusive, or vice versa. According to XC Sneaker, I saw him confirming in the comments that the Nike Air version is going to be the more generally available pair to the public, which I wouldn't be mad at. I'd quite fancy these with the Nike Air on the back. And for some reason, man, like, XC Sneaker has gone crazy detailed with these pictures involving the tongue. Like, the resolution on these is almost too good. And we've had a really detailed look at the Jordan 1 High UNCs. These are set to drop on May the 10th, full family sizing, and they're going to be dropping for 180 bucks. As you can see here from the packaging, pretty much modeled on the Jordan 1 Lost and Found Chicago's that we had, with the mismatched lid and the box, throwback to the whole mom and pop store stuff. And yeah, the shoes look clean, man. They look exactly as you'd expect at this point. The midsole is washed out in the whole sail aged look. You've got the cracked leather around the collar. You've got the sort of cracking on the leather material on the upper. Yeah, they look exactly as you'd expect them to look, really. I mean, Nike have really hit on a bit of an infinite product glitch, establishing this reimagined series where they can pretty much just give us the same retros again, but in this slightly new / really old fashion. And then they can really harp on some of the OGs that they're giving us, like the 85. So yeah, got to give it up to them for that. These are looking clean. I'm still not sure if I mean, I'd get them for the channel, for the content, for the review, but I don't really feel like I'd need them for the collection. Radio, so it is Air Max Day tomorrow, so we're going to preview the day. We already did this in the weekend, so just to remind you of the big sneakers dropping tomorrow. There is going to be a little bit of discrepancy between what's going on here in the UK and the EU, you guys over in the US, and then the rest of you guys around the world. So if you have any really exciting updates that I miss out on here, please feel free to tap them out down below. But for you guys over in the US, the big sneaker is going to be the Big Head Origins Donkey Kong Air Max 1. These are available on the Nike Sneakers app. There are also a couple of Air Max Day exclusive colorways of the DN in this green colorway, and then the DN8 as well. And if you guys weren't already hip to it already, Pata are doing a restock of the Air Max 1 chlorophylls. One of the best Air Max 1 colorways of all time. If you want to go into the draw or be hip to the release, it's on the Patta website tomorrow right around lunchtime. But go ahead and check out Patta's own website to firm up those details so you know what's going on there. Now, in terms of the releases that have loaded up here on the Nike sneakers app here in the UK, there are only 2 releases so far that I can see. You've got the DN8s in the snakeskin colorway, and then you've got a pair of 180s in the University Blue and Hyper Pink. So I'm not sure whether or not they are celebrating the day at all. Maybe they're skipping out on this year, or maybe they're going to be doing a whole bunch of maybe restocks or maybe some exclusive access type things once the day gets going. But at least from what I can see here, it seems like Air Max Day is flying under the radar a little bit currently in the UK. And that is it for today's SHNEWS video. Do me a favor and like the video before you bounce. Go over and drop me a follow over on IG. I really would appreciate it. And make sure you guys are around tomorrow when one man, me, takes a pair of shoes out of a box, the Obsidians, and tells you what he thinks of them. So until then, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care for now, and peace.